So very excited because of our relationship with ZipRecruiter. I've developed a professional relationship with their chief economist, Julia Pollack. She's been on the show multiple times. She's paying attention to job trends, what's going on, what's the future look like from an economic standpoint. And she's a wonderful resource. So I recently had her in via Zoom, and I asked her about two specific things. Are we going to see college enrollment continue to drop? We've already seen it drop precipitously. Is it going to continue? And then I said, with college enrollment dropping, how is that leading to employment opportunities for minority groups and those who could not afford to go to college? It's really interesting stuff. Listen in as she answers those questions. Here's Julia Pollack. But we're seeing right now, Julia, we're seeing enrollment rates in college and community college drop pretty precipitously. Yes. I mean, it's a pretty big gap. And look, it makes sense. You know, you saw the pandemic again hasten this situation. I wonder if we are going to see, because of the high price of tuition, that leads into the high cost of student loans. And we're talking $4 trillion of debt that young people have that are now no longer even young. They take this into young adulthood and on. I just wonder if we're going to see more and more kids leaving college or skipping college to go right into this hot workforce. Do you see anything there? Do you have an opinion? Do you see anything that leads you to believe that could happen and hasten what is already a drop in college enrollment?
Well, we've seen the college wage premium shrink, and it's the smallest it has ever been right now. On ZipRecruiter, we've seen the share of jobs that require a bachelor's degree fall in half since the pandemic. The share of jobs that require 5 years of experience or 10 years of experience, fall to a quarter of what they were before. So employers are starved for talent, and they are now prepared to overlook all kinds of things they were overlooking in the past. And they're prepared to make an investment in training and mentorship. And they're hiring for something different. They know that in this tight labor market, they're not going to find the cookie cutter perfect candidate they want with all the right skills. So they're looking for people with the right soft skills, with the ability to learn, with an openness to receiving feedback and responding favorably to that feedback. And people who are reliable and trustworthy. And that creates a great opportunity for just good people who perhaps didn't go to the right school and don't have the best network through their parents to get ahead. And without going to school, right? This is creating an opportunity for young people to fill the gaps in the labor market. So the one group where we've seen labor force participation fully recover is teenagers. Yeah. Teenagers are flooding this labor market, and they're not going into the jobs reserved for teenagers in the past, like the jobs that give you pocket money, the summer camp counselor jobs. There's a huge shortage in the market there because there are no takers for those jobs right now. They're leapfrogging that stage of the labor market and going straight to real retail and business services jobs with real paychecks and full benefits packages.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Okay, I want to know what you think about this labor market and this development that you just addressed, where companies are realizing, wait a second, we're going to lower the standards by dropping the college degree. But what happens is, by necessity, they have to create training and development programs to train good quality, let's just call it character, and there's some raw talent that they can hone into skills.
Right.
Well, I believe this is going to open up a lot of opportunities. I certainly hope so, for low-income individuals. Absolutely. And specifically minorities who get hardest hit by the student loan situation because they feel like they've got to go the higher ed route in order to get qualified. I feel like this is going to open up, I hope, beautiful professional futures for the lower income and minority population in the United States. Do you think this will? Do you think it's possible?
It's already happening. So the group that's leading right now in the employment recovery is actually African-American men.
Oh, that's great.
So their employment rates have risen about 2-3 percentage points. That is quite remarkable because that is the group usually hardest hit in a recession. And the group, after a layoff, that has the hardest time getting back, due to discrimination and all kinds of other factors. But it seems like in this very tight labor market, employers are expanding their talent pools and they are having to get up. They can't just post a job and wait for candidates to come. They're having to go find candidates where they are and persuade people and say, hey, there are great opportunities out here for you. Please, please, try them out.
I love that. Good stuff from Julia Pollack. She's always a delight, very well informed. And let me just underscore that last piece of conversation. We'll move to our next story. I believe this is going to reset the playing field. One of the silver linings coming out of this weird job economy and the pandemic, one of the real working positives is that I believe the lie that college is the only way to success has been exposed. And as a result, companies have made the all-important pragmatic shift to hire people who don't have degrees, give people that don't have a chance. I saw a story. Alex and I are watching this. We're going to report on this some more. But I saw another story the other day about companies that are getting serious about hiring people with a criminal record and giving them an actual chance. They have paid their dues to society. I think this is a beautiful development. Very, very exciting.